Hey, boys and girls, this book is called Ninjago The Golden Weapons. Ninjago The Golden Weapons, adapted by Tracy West. The Sword of Fire. Hooray! We kicked their bony backsides, Jay said. Jay, Cole, Kai, and Zane were celebrating. They had defeated the skeleton warriors 3 times. Now they had 3 of the weapons of Spinjitzu. They just needed 1 more. Even Sensei Wu was in a good mood. He got up and danced. Later, while everyone slept, a voice woke Kai. It was his sister, Naya, but now Samukai had captured her and taken her to Garmadon in the underworld. I have to go, Naya said. She ran off. Kai raced after her. He followed her to a red temple. Inside the temple, Kai saw the 4th weapon of Spinjitzu, the Sword of Fire. Naya appeared in front of it. Naya, Kai crawled. He ran toward her. Don't worry, I'm right here, Naya said, but as she spoke, she transformed into the dark shadow of Garmadon. Garmadon moved aside, and Kai saw his real sister hanging above a pit of lava. In your world, I can't take the Sword of Fire, Garmadon said, but you can take it for me. Naya started to slide down toward the lava. Kai knew there was only one way to save her. He had to take the sword and cut the chains. Kai grabbed the sword. Ninjago! He cried. He swirled and whirled, turned into a glowing red tornado. Then he flew over the lava. He cut the chains and grabbed Naya. They landed safely on the rocks. Lord Garmadon's plan. Garmadon's shadow rose up in front of Kai. He swung the sword, but it went right through the shadow. Then Garmadon kicked Kai, and Kai fell down. That's not fair, cried Naya. Garmadon's shadow made copies of itself. All the shadows attacked Kai. The sword fell out of his hands. Garmadon picked up the sword. Then a new shadow jumped behind him. It was Sensei Wu. The sensei used his own shadow to fight Garmadon's shadows. He got the sword back, but what of the other 3 weapons? Lord Garmadon asked. They are safe, Sensei Wu replied. Are you sure? Asked Garmadon. Back at camp, a noise woke Cole. He gasped. Skeleton warriors, Knuckle and Cruncha, had captured Jay and Zane. Their king, Samuke, held the 3 weapons of Spinjitzu in his bony hands. I believe these belong to Lord Garmadon now, he said, grinning. Back at the temple, Sensei Wu turned to Kai and Naya. My brother must not unite the 4 weapons, he warned them. Awake, guardian of the sword, Garmadon yelled. Do not let them escape. A huge red dragon rose up from the bubbling lava. It spread its wings and roared. A trip to the underworld. There was only one escape, down into the underworld. Sensei Wu used the sword to cut rock beneath his feet. The rock floated on the lava, carrying him away. Sensei, no! Kai cried. I must take the Sword of Fire to the underworld, Sensei said firmly. I will see you there, brother, Garmadon said as his shadow disappeared. It's all my fault, Kai wailed. Sensei won't be able to hold out for long. Forget Sensei, said Naya, looking up at the angry dragon. What about us? Back at camp, Samukai jumped into his skull truck. To the underworld, he cried. The skeleton warrior sped away, leaving Cole, Jay, and Zane behind. Now what? Cole asked. Now we get out of here, Jay answered. He drew a sword he had taken from Knuckle. He cut the rope, and they all hit the ground. The ninja raced after Samukai. They jumped onto the skull truck. Smack! Pow! Cole went after Knuckle and Cruncha. Jay ran up and whack! Cole accidentally hit him in the throat. The skull truck reared up in its back wheels. Jay, Cole, and Zane tumbled off. The truck vanished into the underworld. Jay, Cole, and Zane ran to the red temple. I sense that the weapons are in the underworld, Zane said. We are too late. Then they heard Kai's voice. We may not be able to cross over to the underworld, he said, but a dragon can. The temple doors opened. The ninja gasped when they saw Kai and Naya riding the fire dragon. Dragon riders. Dragons belong to both worlds, so they can travel between them, Naya exclaimed. Cole shuddered. No way! He was terrified of dragons. Kai jumped down and patted the dragon's head. Once he realized we were trying to protect the Sword of Fire, he became quite a softy. Naya said goodbye to her brother. Soon, the four ninja were flying across the sky, each one riding an elemental dragon. Easy, easy, Cole said nervously as the earth dragon soared across the sky. This is awesome, Zane cried from the back of the ice dragon. Excuse me. The dragon flew through the long, dark tunnel that led to the underworld. They saw a tunnel that led to the underworld. They saw Garmadon's black palace in the distance. Skeleton warriors guarded the entrance. Sensei is inside, Zane said, and they're expecting us. To get past the warriors, the four ninjas swung from the black rocks that hung down over the underworld. Jay grabbed onto a long, skinny rock, and he looked up and saw that it was the leg of a giant spider. Brack, black, blah, Jay cried, but his throat was still hurt. His friends didn't understand him. The other ninjas finally looked up and saw the spiders. Ah! They screamed. They let go, and they fell to the ground. In an instant, the skeleton warriors had surrounded them. Then, the spiders dropped down. Uh-oh, Kai cried. A battle between brothers. Inside the palace, Sensei Wu heard a voice behind him. Brother, Garmadon said. Sensei Wu spun around, and he drew his sword of fire. Brother, he said. Seize the sword, Garmadon yelled. Skeleton warriors jumped out of the shadows. Sensei Wu used spinjitzu. A golden tornado swirled around the room, knocking down the skeletons one by one. You'll have to take it from me, Sensei Wu told his brother. Samurai appeared. My pleasure, he growled, waving the other three weapons of spinjitzu. He let out a loud roar and charged at Sensei Wu. The old man somersaulted right over Samukai's head. He swung the sword at Samukai, but the skeleton blocked it with his Sith of Quakes. Tornado of Creation. Outside, the ninja needed a plan. Jay knew what to do. Brah, blah, blah, he cried. You need a vacation, Kai asked. Frustrated, Jay yelled as loud as he could. Tornado of Creation! Let's do this, said Cole. Earth. Fire, yelled Kai. Ice, cried Zane. Lightning, shouted Zay. Ninjago! Yelled all four ninja. The four tornadoes burned brightly. Then they joined together. One giant swirling tornado whipped through the palace courtyard. It picked up every warrior, spider, and object in its path. Then the tornado spat them out. Now they were all transformed into a giant Ferris wheel made of bones. The skeleton warrior were trapped inside. Come on! There's no time to waste, Kai cried. Showdown with Lord Garmadon. The four ninja hurried into the palace. They saw Sensei Wu battling Samukai. Sensei Wu fought hard, but it was one weapon against three. Samukai used the shurikens of ice to freeze the sword. Then he used the Sith of Quakes to shake the ground. Finally, he hurled the nunchucks of lightning at Sensei Wu. Shocking him, the sword fell out of Sensei Wu's hands. Bring me the four weapons, Garmadon demanded. Samukai picked up the sword. No, you will obey me now, he told Garmadon. The weapons began to shake and glow. Garmadon laughed. No one can handle all that power at once, Sensei Wu said. What's happening to me? Samukai wailed. You have fallen into my master's plan, Garmadon replied. Not even I can handle the power of all four weapons, but now that they've combined, it will create a vortex through space and time. I can finally escape the underworld. Boom! Samukai vanished into a storm of white light. A glowing blue tunnel appeared. Garmadon went toward it. Soon, I will be strong enough to hold the four weapons, he boasted. Then, I will make the world in my image. The vortex disappeared, and so did Garmadon. He's gone, Sensei Wu said, but he will return. Kai picked up the sword of fire. Jay picked up the nunchucks. Cole grabbed the Sith, and Zane took the shurikens. Then, we'll be ready for him, Kai vowed. Ninjago, The Golden Weapons. I hope you love this book.